Eugene O'Neill is considered the founding father of modern American drama, transforming the nation's theater from shallow commercial melodramas into a powerful literary medium. He remains the only American playwright ever to win the Nobel Prize for Literature. Imagine being born literally inside the world you're destined to revolutionize. On October 16th of 1888, Eugene O'Neill was born in a hotel room right on Broadway in New York City. His father, James O'Neill, was a wildly successful touring actor who spent decades playing the same lucrative, melodramatic role in The Count of Monte Cristo. Young Eugene spent his childhood drifting between hotels, developing an early contempt for the shallow, artificial plays of his father's era. Behind the velvet curtains lay deep personal trauma, a mother addicted to morphine, a father battling alcoholism. Seeking escape, Eugene abandoned Princeton, fled to sea as a sailor, and fell into deep depression. At age 24, while recovering from tuberculosis in a sanitarium, he discovered European realist playwrights and vowed to write. He began with raw, gritty sea plays like The Long Voyage Home, capturing the authentic voice of the American working class for the very first time. When O'Neill hit Broadway, he shattered every existing theatrical mold. His 1920 Broadway debut, Beyond the Horizon, a tragic tale of fractured family dreams, won him his first Pulitzer Prize. And he didn't stop there. He became a relentless experimentalist, pulling from expressionism, psychology, and ancient Greek tragedy. In The Emperor Jones, he used a pulsing, continuous drumbeat to chart a tyrant's psychological descent through a jungle. In The Hairy Ape, he exposed the brutal alienation of the modern industrial worker. He tackled forbidden societal taboos head-on, exploring interracial romance in All God's Children Got Wings, and deep-seated desire in Desire Under the Elms. By 1928, he won his third Pulitzer for Strange Interlude, a massive 9-act play where characters spoke their hidden subconscious thoughts directly to the audience. He single-handedly gave America a theatrical voice that could rival Shakespeare's. O'Neill's relentless genius culminated in his final years, despite battling a devastating neurological illness. In 1936, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. In his final decade, he looked backward, writing The Iceman Cometh, a haunting look at a group of dead-end saloon regulars clinging to their pipe dreams just to survive. But his absolute masterpiece was Long Day's Journey into Night. Written in tears and blood, this deeply autobiographical work directly confronted the ghosts of his own family's addictions and resentments. Released posthumously, it earned him a fourth Pulitzer Prize, and it remains the gold standard of American tragedy. O'Neill once said his goal was to show individuals fighting against the eternal odds. By documenting that struggle with fierce honesty through dozens of landmark plays, Eugene O'Neill didn't just write drama. He forced American theater to grow up. Our first pieces are from Long Day's Journey into Night, Eugene O'Neill's autobiographical masterpiece, a 4-act play depicting a single devastating day in the life of the dysfunctional Tyrone family in August of 1912. It explored themes of addiction, regret, and familial resentment through the lens of O'Neill's own family. The play follows the parents, James and Mary, and their 2 sons, Jamie and Edmund, as they confront their painful pasts, including Mary's morphine addiction, James' miserliness, Jamie's alcoholism, and Edmund's tuberculosis. Written in the early 1940s, but published and performed posthumously in 1956, it won the Pulitzer Prize, and it's considered a cornerstone of American theater. Here are 3 monologues: Christina Root as Mary Tyrone, Greg Daly as Edmund Tyrone, and Eric Joseph as James Tyrone.
I have to take it, because there is no other that can stop the pain. All of the pain, I mean, in my hands. Poor hands. You'd never believe it, but they were once one of my good points. Along with my hair and eyes, I had a fine figure, too. They were a musician's hands. I used to love the piano. I worked so hard at my music in the convent. If you can call it work when you do something you love. Mother Elizabeth and my music teacher both said I had more talent than any student they remembered. My father paid for special lessons. He spoiled me. He would do anything I asked. He would have sent me to Europe to study after I graduated from the convent. I might have gone if I hadn't fallen in love with Mr. Tyrone. Or I might have become a nun. I had 2 dreams. To be a nun, that was the more beautiful one. To become a concert pianist, that was the other. Oh, I haven't touched a piano in so many years. I couldn't play with such crippled fingers even if I wanted to. For a time after my marriage, I tried to keep up my music, but it was hopeless. One-night stands, cheap hotels, dirty trains, leaving children, never having a home. See, Kathleen, how ugly they are. So maimed and crippled. You would think they'd been through some horrible accident. So they have, come to think of it. I won't look at them. They're worse than the foghorn for reminding me. But even they can't touch me now. They're far away. I see them, but the pain has gone.
The fog was where I wanted to be. Halfway down the path, you can't see this house. You'd never know it was here, or any of the other places down the avenue. I couldn't see but a few feet ahead. I didn't meet a soul. Everything looked and sounded unreal. Nothing was what it is. That's what I wanted, to be alone with myself in another world where truth is untrue and life could hide from itself. Out beyond the harbor, where the road runs along the beach, I even lost the feeling of being on land. The fog and the sea seemed part of each other. It was like walking on the bottom of the sea, as if I had drowned long ago, as if I was a ghost belonging to the fog, and the fog was the ghost of the sea. It felt damned peaceful to be nothing more than a ghost within a ghost. Don't look at me as if I've gone nutty. I'm talking sense. Who wants to see life as it is if they can help it? It's the 3 gorgons in one. You look in their faces and turn to stone. Or it's Pan. You see 'em and you die, that is, inside you, and have to go on living as a ghost.
Whose play is it? Stinking old miser, huh? Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I can't help me. Although all my life since I had anything, I've thrown money over the bar for drinks for everyone in the house, or I've loaned money to sponges I knew would never pay it back. But of course, that was in bar rooms when I was full of whiskey. I can never feel that way when I'm sober. In my home. It was at home I learned the value of $1 and my fear of the poorhouse. I've never been able to believe in my luck since. Still, the more property you own, the safer you think you are. That may not be logical, but it's the way I have to feel. Yes, maybe life overdid the lesson for me and made $1 worth too much. And then the time came when it ruined my career as a fine actor. I've never admitted this to anyone before, lad, But tonight I'm so heartsick I feel at the end of everything, and what's the use of fake pride in pretense? That goddamn play I bought for a song and made such a great success in, a great money success, it ruined me with its promise of an easy fortune. I didn't want to do anything else, and by the time I woke up to the fact, I'd become a slave to the damn thing. And I did try other plays, but it was too late. They'd identified me with that one part and didn't want me in anything else. They were right, too. I'd lost the great talent I once had through years of easy repetition, never learning a new part, never really working hard. $35,000 to $40,000 net profit a season, like snapping your fingers. It was too great a temptation. Yet before I bought the damn thing, I was considered one of the 3 or 4 young actors with the greatest artistic promise in America. I had worked like hell. I'd left a good job as a machinist to take supers parts because I loved the theater. I was wild with ambition. I read all the plays ever written. I studied Shakespeare as you'd study the Bible, and I educated myself. I got rid of an Irish brogue you could cut with a knife. I loved Shakespeare. I would have acted in any of his plays for nothing, for the simple joy of being alive in his great poetry. And I acted well in him. I felt inspired by him. I could have been a great Shakespearean actor if I'd kept on. I know that. In 1874, when Edwin Booth came to the theater in Chicago, where I was a leading man, I played Cassius to his Brutus one night, Brutus to his Cassius the next, Othello to his Iago, and so on. The first night I played Othello, he said to our manager, "That young man is playing Othello better than I ever did." That from Booth, the greatest actor of his day or any other, and it was true. And I was only 27 years old. As I look back on it now, that night was the high spot in my career. I had life where I wanted it. For a time after that, I kept on upward with ambition high. Married your mother. Ask her what I was like in those days. Her love was an added incentive to ambition. But a few years later, my good bad luck made me find the big moneymaker. It wasn't that in my eyes at first. It was a great romantic part I knew I could play better than anyone. But it was a great box office success from the start. And then life had me where it wanted me, at from 35 to 40,000 net profit a season. A fortune in those days. Or even in these. What the hell was it I wanted to buy, I wonder? That was worth... Well, no matter. It's a late day for regrets. Eugene O'Neill's A Moon for the Misbegotten is a tragic 1943 play and sequel to Long Day's Journey into Night. It's set on a Connecticut farm in 1923 and follows a domineering Irish woman and her scheming father who attempt to trick the family's wealthy, alcoholic landlord into marriage, leading to an emotionally devastating night. It features Josie Hogan, a sharp-tongued, earthy Irish-American woman. While she projects a tough, promiscuous exterior to the world, she's actually a vulnerable virgin who secretly longs to be loved. And Phil Hogan, Josie's conniving, hard-drinking father. He clashes with his sons, causing them to run away, but shares a clever, bantering bond with Josie. And James Jim Tyrone Jr., the cynical, self-destructive landlord, a guilt-ridden, heavy-drinking former actor based on O'Neill's real-life older brother, Jamie. He's haunted by his family's past. Here is Jennifer Love and Matt McDougall playing Josie and Jim Tyrone in a scene near the end of the play. It's followed by a monologue of Josie's by Allison Davies.
Ah, at last the old booze.
You'd think I'd been gone years. You didn't seem so perishing for a drink.
It's you I was perishing for. I've been dying of loneliness.
You'll die of lying someday, but I'm glad you're alive again. I thought when I left you were really dying on me.
No such luck.
Oh, don't talk like that. Come, have a drink. We'll use the boulder for a table, and I'll be barkeep. Say, what's come over you, Jim? You look like you just saw a ghost.
I have. My own, he's punk company.
Yes, it's the worst ghost of all. Your own. Don't I know? But this will keep it in its place. Here, but wait till I join you.
Hello. I thought you never touched it.
I have, on occasion, and this is one. I don't want to be left out of the celebration. Don't look at me as if I was up to some game. A drink or two will make me better company and help me enjoy the moon and the night with you. Here's luck.
All right. Here's luck.
Some of it went down the wrong way.
So I see. That will teach you to pour out baths instead of drinks.
Well, that's the first time I ever heard you complain a drink was too big.
Yours was too big.
I'm my father's daughter. I've a strong head, so don't worry, I'll pass out and you'll have to put me to bed. Sure, that's a beautiful notion. I'll have to pretend I'm
Nix on the raw stuff, Josie. Remember, you said that
I'd be
tonight.
different? That's right. I'm forgetting it's your pleasure to have me pretend I'm an innocent virgin tonight.
If you don't look out, I'll call you on that bluff, Josie. I'd like to. You know that, don't you?
I don't at all. You're the one that's bluffing.
Josie. How about another drink? That's honest to God old bonded bourbon. How the devil did Phil get a hold of it?
Tom Lombardo, the bootlegger. Tom gave him a case for letting him hide a truckload in our barn when the agents were after him. He stole it from a warehouse on faked permits. Here you are. Let's sit down where the moon will be in our eyes and we'll see romance. Here's hoping before the night's out you'll have more courage to kiss me at least.
That's a promise. Here's how.
No, don't sink back half dead and alive in dreams the way you were before.
I'm not. I had a good final dose of the heebie-jeebies when you were in the house. That's all for tonight. Let the dead past bury its dead.
That's the talk. There's only tonight and the moon and us and bonded bourbon. Have another drink and don't wait for me.
Not now, thanks. They're coming too fast. Trying to get me soused, Josie?
What? I'm not. Only to get you feeling happy, so you'll forget sadness.
I might forget all my honorable intentions, too, so look out.
Ooh, I'll look forward to it. And I hope that's another promise like the kiss you owe me. If you're suspicious I'm trying to get you soused, well, here goes. There now. I must be scheming to get myself soused, too.
Maybe you are.
If I were, it'd be to make you feel at home. Don't all the pretty little Broadway tarts get soused with you?
There you go with that old line again.
All right, I won't. I must be eaten up with jealousy for them. That's it.
You needn't be. They don't belong.
And I do?
Yes, you do.
For tonight only, you mean?
We've agreed there's only tonight, and it's to be different from any past night, for both of us.
I hope it will be. I'll try to control my envy for your Broadway flames. I suppose it's because I have a picture of them in my mind as small and dainty and pretty and...
They're just gold-digging tramps.
While I'm only a big, rough, ugly cow of a woman.
Shut up. You're beautiful.
God pity the blind.
You're beautiful to me.
It must be the bourbon.
You're real, and you're healthy, and clean, and fine, and warm, and strong, and kind.
I have a beautiful soul, you mean?
Well, I don't know much about lady souls, but I do know that you're beautiful, and I love you a lot. In my fashion. Nuts. The Brooklyn boys are talking again. I guess I'm more stewed than I thought.
Oh, asleep. That's right. Sleep in peace, my darling. Oh, Jim. Jim, maybe my love could still save you if you wanted enough. God forgive me. It's a fine end to all my scheming, to sit here with the dead hugged to my breast, and the silly mug of the moon grinning down enjoying the joke.
One more word out of you. You're a dirty tick, and it'd serve you right if I let you stay gabbing until Father came and beat you to a jelly, but I won't. I'm too anxious to be rid of you. Get out of here now. Do you think you'll stay all day with the pigs, you gabbing fool? Oh, there he is, coming up to the barn. He's looking toward the meadow. He sees you're not working. He's running down there. He'll come here next. You'd better run for your life. Oh, I might have known. I'll bet you're a mile away by now, you rabbit. Oh, look at my poor old father pelt. He's as spry on his stumpy legs as a yearling, and as full of rage as a nest of wasps. Well, that's the last of you, Mike, and good riddance. It was the little boy you used to be that I had to mother, and not you I stole the money for. Well, himself will be here in a minute. I'd better be ready.
O'Neill's one-act play Thirst portrays 3 shipwreck survivors, a dancer, a gentleman, and a West Indian sailor, adrift on a life raft under a blistering sun. Driven mad by extreme heat, lack of water, and surrounding sharks, they succumb to despair, moral degradation, and a fatal clash. It features the dancer, performed by Jennifer Love, a wealthy performer in a tattered, flashy costume who holds on to delusions of her past success and offers up her diamond necklace, and eventually other things, for water. And the gentleman, played by James Kuntz in his monologue, an upper-class man in tattered formal evening wear. He tries to maintain composure, but quickly breaks down under the physical and psychological toll of their ordeal. Here are Jennifer Love and James Kuntz.
You remember when the crash came? We were all in the salon. You were singing. A Cockney song, I think. You were very beautiful. I remember a woman on my right saying, "How pretty she is. I wonder if she's married." Strange how some idiotic remark like that will stick in one's brain when all else is vague and confused. A tragedy happens, we are in the midst of it, and one of our clearest remembrances afterwards is a remark that might have been overheard in any subway train. You were very beautiful. I was looking at you and wondering what kind of a woman you were. You know, I'd never met you personally, only seen you in my walks around the deck. Then came the crash, that horrible, dull crash. We were all thrown forward on the floor of the salon. Then screams, oaths, fainting women, the hollow boom of a bulkhead giving way. Then I was on deck fighting in the midst of the crowd. Somehow I got into a boat, but it was overloaded and was swamped immediately. I swam to another boat. They beat me off with the oars. That boat, too, was swamped a moment later. And then the gurgling, choking cries of the drowning. Something huge rushed by me in the water, leaving a gleaming trail of phosphorescence. A woman near me with a lifebelt around her gave a cry of agony and disappeared. Then I realized... sharks. I became frenzied with terror. I swam. I beat the water with my hands. The ship had gone down. I swam and swam with but one idea, to put all that horror behind me. I saw something white on the water before me. I clutched it, climbed on it. It was this raft. You and he were on it. I fainted. The whole thing is a horrible nightmare in my brain. But I remember clearly that idiotic remark of the woman in the salon. What pitiful creatures we are.
Look, you have stolen our water. You deserve to be killed. We will forget all that. Look at this necklace. It was given to me by an English duke, a nobleman. It is worth 1,000 pounds, $5,000. It will provide for you for the rest of your life. You need not be a sailor anymore. You need never work at all anymore. Do you understand what that means? That water that you stole. Well, I will give you this necklace. They're all real diamonds, you know. $5,000 for that water. You need not give me all of it. I'm not unreasonable. You may keep some for yourself. I would not have you die. I want just enough for myself and my friend to keep us alive until we reach some island. My lips are cracked with heat. My head is bursting. Here, take the necklace. It is yours.
Our next selection is from The First Man, a 1922 psychological drama that explores themes of grief, toxic pride, and societal hypocrisy. The play follows Curtis Jason, an anthropologist consumed by the desire to find the origins of mankind and the devastating family conflicts triggered when his wife Martha becomes pregnant. Here is Karen Hayes as Martha.
You've got to go. I won't try to stop you. I'll help all in my power, as I've always done. Only, I can't go with you anymore. And you must help me to do my work by understanding it. Oh, Kurt, I wish I could tell you what I feel, make you feel with me the longing for a child. If you had just the tiniest bit of feminine in you. But you're so utterly masculine, dear. That's what has made me love you, I suppose. So I've no right to complain of it. I don't. I wouldn't have you changed one bit. I love you. And I love the things you love, your work, because it's a part of you. And that's what I want you to do, to reciprocate, to love the Creator in me, to desire that I too should complete myself with the thing nearest my heart. I know. But after all, your work is yours, not mine. I've been only a helper, a good comrade too, I hope, but somehow outside of it all. Do you remember 2 years ago when we were camped in Yunnan among the Aboriginal tribes? It was one night there when we were lying out in our sleeping bags up in the mountains along the Tibetan frontier. I couldn't sleep. Suddenly I felt so tired, utterly alone, out of harmony with you, with the earth under me. I became horribly despondent, like an outcast who suddenly realizes the whole world is alien. And all the wandering about the world and all the romance and excitement I'd enjoyed in it appeared an aimless, futile business, chasing around in a circle in an effort to avoid touching reality. Oh, forgive me, Kurt. I meant myself, not you, of course. Oh, it was horrible, I tell you, to feel that way. I tried to laugh at myself to fight it off, but it stayed and grew worse. It seemed as if I were the only creature alive who was not alive. And all at once, the picture came of a tribeswoman who stood looking at us in a little mountain village as we rode by. She was nursing her child. Her eyes were so curiously sure of herself. Oh, she was horribly ugly, poor woman, and yet, as the picture came back to me, I appeared to myself the ugly one while she was beautiful. And I thought of our children who had died. And such a longing for another child came to me that I began sobbing. You were asleep, you didn't hear. And when we came back here to have a home at last, I was so happy because I saw my chance of fulfillment before it was too late. Now can you understand, dear? Can you?
Bound East for Cardiff by Eugene O'Neill is a classic one-act play about Yank, a dying sailor, and his close friend Driscoll. Set in a ship, it explores themes of the loneliness of the sea, the fear of death, and the harsh realities of a sailor's life. As one of O'Neill's earliest and most celebrated works, Bound East for Cardiff helped launch his career. It was famously premiered by the Provincetown Players on Cape Cod. There were themes of isolation and loneliness, the symbolism of the fog, and the constant presence of thick, disorienting mist, representing death, the unknown, and the crew's inability to see any true purpose or trajectory in their lives. The play reflects O'Neill's naturalistic approach to dialogue and highlights the grim, exhausting, and unglamorous realities of maritime working-class life, which O'Neill knew about, having been a sailor himself. Here is Grant Baxter and Eric Joseph in Bound East for Cardiff.
Don't lie, Drisk. I heard what he said, and if I didn't, I could tell by the way I feel. I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna die. That's what. And the sooner the better.
No, and be damned to you, you're not. I'll not let you.
It ain't no use, Drisk. I ain't got a chance, but I ain't scared. Give me a drink of water, will you, Drisk? My throat's burning up.
Are you feeling more easy like now?
Yes, now, when I know it's all up. You mustn't take it so hard, Drisk. I was just thinking it ain't as bad as people think. I'm dying. I ain't never took much stock in the truck them sky pilots preach. I ain't never had religion, but I know whatever it is, what comes after it can't be no worse than this. I don't like to leave you, Drisk, but that's all.
Lad, don't be talking.
This sailor's life ain't much to cry about leaving. Just one ship after another. Hard work, small pay, bum grub, and we get into port. Just a drunk ending up in a fight and all your money gone. And then ship away again. Never meeting no nice people. Never getting out of Sailor Town, hardly, in any port. Traveling all over the world and never seeing none of it. Without no one to care whether you're alive or dead. There ain't much in all that make you sorry to lose it, Drisk.
It's a hell of a life, the sea. For the love of God, what is it, Yank?
So long, Drisk. Who's that?
Who? What?
A pretty lady dressed in black.
Warnings, which was written in 1913, is a gripping one-act play by Eugene O'Neill that explores the tragic collision between duty and desperation. It follows James Knapp, a financially struggling ship's radio operator who hides his impending permanent deafness to keep his job, ultimately leading to a catastrophic shipwreck and his tragic suicide. James Knapp discovers he's gradually losing his hearing and will eventually go completely deaf. Because this means the immediate end of his career, he considers giving up his job at sea. However, his wife vehemently warns him not to tell the ship's authorities. Driven by fears of losing their livelihood and ending up on the streets, she browbeats him into keeping his devastating condition a secret. Here is Pam Murphy as the wife.
Give up your job? Are you a fool? Are you such a coward that a doctor can scare you like that? What's the matter with you all of a sudden? You're not deaf now, and even if that lying doctor spoke the truth, you'll hear for a long time yet. He only told you about that sudden stroke to keep you coming to him. I know the way they talk. I suppose you think it's right to loaf around here until we all get put out on the streets. God knows your salary is small enough, but without it, we'd starve to death. Can't you think of others besides yourself? How about me and the children? What's going to buy them clothes and food? I can't earn enough, and what Charlie gets wouldn't keep him alive for a week. And Jim, he sends us a few dollars a month, but he don't get much, and he ain't working regular. We owe the grocer and the butcher now. If they found out you wasn't working, they wouldn't give us any more credit. And the landlord? How long would he let us stay here? You'll get other work? Remember the last time you tried? We had to pawn everything we had then, and we was half starved when you did land this job. You had to go back to the same old work, didn't you? They didn't want you at any telegraph office, did they? You was too old and slow, wasn't you? Well, you're older and slower than ever now, and that's the only other job you're fit for. You'll get another job. And this is all the thanks I get for slaving and working my fingers off. What a father for my poor children. Oh, why did I marry such a man? It's been nothing but worrying and suffering ever since.
The Last Will and Testament of an Extremely Distinguished Dog is a touching tribute written by playwright Eugene O'Neill in 1940 for his dying Dalmatian, Blemmy. Dictated by the dog's perspective, the moving prose serves as a comfort for his grieving owners, offering a blend of humor and enduring love. Here is Rick Mason reading The Last Will and Testament of an Extremely Distinguished Dog.
I, Silverdene Emblem O'Neill, familiarly known to my family, friends, and acquaintances as Blemmy, because the burden of my years and infirmities is heavy upon me, and I realize the end of my life is near, do hereby bury my last will and testament in the mind of my master. He will not know it is there until after I am dead. Then, remembering me in his loneliness, he will suddenly know of this testament, and I ask him then to inscribe it as a memorial to me. I have little in the way of material things to leave. Dogs are wiser than men. They do not set great store upon things. They do not waste their days hoarding property. They do not ruin their sleep worrying about how to keep the objects they have and to obtain the objects they have not. There is nothing of value I have to bequeath, except my love and my faith. These I leave to all those who have loved me, to my master and mistress, who I know will mourn me most, to Freeman, who has been so good to me, to Sin and Roy and Willie and Naomi, and, oh, but If I should list all those people who have loved me, why, it would force my master to write a book. Perhaps it is vain of me to boast when I am so near death, which returns all beasts and vanities to dust, but I have always been an extremely lovable dog. I ask my master and mistress to remember me always, but not to grieve for me too long. In my life, I have tried to be a comfort to them in time of sorrow, and a reason for added joy in their happiness. It is painful for me to think that, even in death, I should cause them pain. Let them remember that while no dog has ever had a happier life, and this I owe to their love and care for me. Now that I have grown blind and deaf and lame, and even my sense of smell fails me so that a rabbit could be right under my nose and I might not know. My pride has sunk to a sick, bewildered humiliation. I feel life is taunting me with having overlingered my welcome. It is time I said goodbye, before I become too sick a burden on myself and on those who love me. It will be sorrow to leave them, but not a sorrow to die. Dogs do not fear death as men do. We accept it as part of life, not as something alien and terrible which destroys life. What may come after death, who knows? I would like to believe, with those of my fellow Dalmatians, that there is a paradise where one is always young and full-bladdered, where all the day one dillies and dallies, where jackrabbits that run fast but not too fast are as the sands of the desert, where each blissful hour is mealtime, where in long evenings there are 1,000,000 fireplaces with logs forever burning, and one curls oneself up and blinks into the flames and nods and dreams, remembering the old brave days on earth and the love of one's master and mistress. I am afraid this is too much for even such a dog as I am to expect, but peace at least is certain. Peace and long rest for weary old heart and head and limbs, and eternal sleep in the earth I have loved so well. Perhaps, after all, this is best. One last request I earnestly make. I have heard my mistress say, when Blemmy dies, we must never have another dog. I love him so much I could never love another one. Now, I would ask her, for love of me, to have another. It would be a poor tribute to my memory never to have a dog again. What I would like to feel is that, having once had me in the family, now she cannot live without a dog. I've never had a narrow, jealous spirit. I've always held that most dogs are good. And one cat, the black one I have permitted to share the living room rug during the evenings, whose affection I have tolerated in a kindly spirit, and in rare sentimental moods, even reciprocated a trifle. Some dogs, of course, are better than others. Dalmatians, naturally, as everyone knows, are best. So I suggest a Dalmatian as my successor. He can hardly be as well-bred or as well-mannered or as distinguished and handsome as I was in my prime. My master and mistress must not ask the impossible. But he will do his best, I am sure, and even his inevitable defects will help by comparison to keep my memory green. To him I bequeath my collar and leash and my overcoat and raincoat. He can never wear them with the distinction I did, all eyes fixed on me in admiration, but again, I am sure he will do his utmost not to appear a mere gauche provincial dog. Here on the ranch he may prove himself quite worthy of comparison in some respects. He will, I presume, come closer to jackrabbits than I've been able to in recent years. And, for all his faults, I hereby wish him the happiness I know will be his in my old home. One last word of farewell, dear master and mistress. Whenever you visit my grave, say to yourselves, with regret, but also with happiness in your hearts, at the remembrance of my long, happy life with you. Here lies one who loved us and whom we loved. No matter how deep my sleep, I shall hear you, and not all the power of death can keep my spirit from wagging a grateful tail. I will always love you, as only a dog can.
Our next selection is called Isle. It's a play by Eugene O'Neill. Mrs. Keeney is the fragile, tragic female lead in this 1917 one-act play. She joins her husband, Captain David Keeney, on a whaling voyage to the Arctic. His relentless obsession with finding oil, Isle, and a subsequent ice blockade drive her into madness. Her character represents the psychological toll of isolation and the clash between domesticity and a man's unforgiving maritime ambitions. Here is Allison Davies as Mrs. Keeney in Isle.
I wanted to be with you, David. Don't you see? I didn't want to wait back there in the house all alone, as I've been doing these last 6 years since we were married, waiting and watching and fearing, with nothing to keep my mind occupied, not able to go back teaching school on account of being Dave Keeney's wife. I used to dream of sailing on the great, wide, glorious ocean. Oh, I wanted to be by your side in the danger and vigorous life of it all. I wanted to see you, the hero they make you out to be in Homeport. And instead, all I find is ice and cold and brutality. Oh, I know it isn't your fault, David. You see, I didn't believe you. I guess I was dreaming about the old Vikings in the storybooks, and I thought you were one of them. Yes, you were very kind, David. I know that. I won't stand it. I can't stand it. Pent up by these walls like a prisoner. Take me away from here, David. If I don't get away from here, out of this terrible ship, I'll go mad. Take me home, David. I can't think anymore. I feel as if the cold and the silence were crushing down on my brain. I'm afraid. Take me home.
Eugene O'Neill's 1916 one-act play Before Breakfast is a dark, intense monologue set in a Greenwich Village apartment. It centers on Mrs. Rowland, who endlessly berates her unseen, silent husband Alfred while preparing breakfast, pushing the desperate man to commit suicide off stage. The play explores the crushing reality of unfulfilled dreams, as both partners are haunted by the idealized versions of the life they expected to have, a common theme in O'Neill's work. Here is Lauren Vanderwater and Heather Pettipas performing an excerpt.
Alfred? Alfred! You needn't pretend you're asleep. Alfred? Alfred! I knew it. Alfred! Alfred! Do you think it's about time you got up? Do you want to stay in bed all day? Not that I've got any doubts about your being lazy enough to stay in bed forever. Oh, goodness knows what time it is. We haven't even got any way of telling the time since you pawned off your watch like a fool. The last valuable thing we had. And you knew it. It's been nothing but pawn, 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 pawn with you. Anything to put off getting a job. Anything to get out of going to work like a man. Alfred, get up. Do you hear me? I want to make that bed before I go out. I'm sick of having this place in a continual muss on your account. Not that we'll be here long unless you manage to get some money someplace. Heaven knows I do my part. And more. Going out to sew every day while you play the gentleman and loaf around barrooms with that good-for-nothing lot of artists from the square. And where are you going to get money? I'd like to know. The rent's due this week, and you know what the landlord is. He won't let us stay a minute over our time. You say you can't get a job. That's a lie, and you know it. You never even look for one. All you do is moon around all day writing silly poetry and stories that no one will buy. No wonder they won't. I notice I can always get a position, such as it is, and it's only that which keeps us from starving to death. You'll have to get money today someplace. I can't do it all, and I won't do it all. You've got to come to your senses. You've got to beg, borrow, or steal it somewheres. But where? I'd like to know. You're too proud to beg. You borrowed the limit, and you hadn't the nerve to steal. Are you up? Aren't you up yet? For heaven's sake. It's just like you to go to sleep again. Or pretend to. Oh, you are up. Well, it's about time. You needn't look at me like that. Your airs don't fool me a bit anymore. I know you too well. Better than you think I do. You and your goings-on. I know lots of things, my dear. Never mind what I know now. I'll tell you before I go. You needn't worry. I suppose I might as well get breakfast ready. Not that there's anything much to get. Unless you have some money. Foolish question. I ought to know you better than that by this time. When you left here in such a huff last night, I knew what would happen. You can't be trusted for a second. A nice condition you came home in. The fight we had was only an excuse for you to make a beast of yourself. What was the use pawning your watch if all you wanted with the money was to waste it in buying drink? Oh, hurry up. It don't take long to get breakfast these days, thanks to you. All we've got this morning is bread and butter and coffee. And you wouldn't even have that if it wasn't for me sewing my fingers off. The bread's stale. I hope you'll like it. You don't deserve any better, but I don't see why I should suffer. The coffee will be ready in a minute. Needn't expect me to wait for you. What on earth are you doing all this time? Well, you're almost dressed at any rate. I expected to find you back in bed. That'd be just like you. Oh, how awful you look this morning. For heaven's sake, shave. You're disgusting. You look like a tramp. No wonder no one will give you a job. I don't blame them. When you don't even look halfway decent. There's plenty of hot water right here. You've got no excuse. Here. Look at your hand tremble. You'd better give up drinking. You can't stand it. It's just your kind that get the DTs. That would be the last straw. Look at the mess you've made of this floor. Cigarette butts and ashes all over the place. Why can't you put them on a plate? No, you wouldn't be considerate enough to do that. You never think of me. You don't have to sweep the room, and that's all you care about. Hurry up. It must be nearly time for me to go. If I'm late, I'm liable to lose my position, and then I couldn't support you any longer. And then you'd have to go to work or something dreadful like that. What I want to know is whether you're going to look for a job today or not. You know your family won't help us anymore. They've had enough of you, too. Oh, I'm about sick of all this life. I've a good notion to go home, if I wasn't too proud to let them know what a failure you've been. You, the millionaire Roland's only son, the Harvard graduate, the poet, the catch of the town. Oh, there wouldn't be many of them now envy my catch if they knew the truth. What has our marriage been? I'd like to know. All that time you were running around with someone. Your lame excuses about spending the time at the library didn't fool me. Who is this Helen, anyway? One of those artists? Or does she write poetry, too? Her letter sounds that way. I'll bet she told you your things were the best ever, and you believed her, like a fool. Is she young and pretty? I was young and pretty, too, when you fooled me with your fine, poetic talk. But life with you would soon wear anyone down. What I've been through. Breakfast is ready. Breakfast! Your coffee'll be cold. What are you doing? Still shaving, for heaven's sake? Oh, you'd better give it up. One of these mornings you'll give yourself a serious cut. I'll have to run as soon as I've finished eating. One of us has got to work. Are you going to look for a job today, or aren't you? I should think some of your fine friends would help you if they really think you're so much. But I guess they just like to hear you talk. I'm sorry for this Helen, whoever she is. Haven't you got any feelings for other people? What will her family say? I see she mentions them in her letter. What is she going to do? Have the child? Or go to one of those doctors? That's a nice thing, I must say. Where can she get the money? Is she rich? You won't tell me anything about her, will you? Much I care. Come to think of it, I'm not so sorry for her after all. She knew what she was doing. She isn't any schoolgirl like I was from the looks of her letter. Does she know you're married? Of course she must. All your friends know about your unhappy marriage. I know they pity you. But they don't know my side of it. They'd talk different if they did. This Helen must be a fine one, if she knew you were married. What does she expect, then? That I'll divorce you and let her marry you? Does she think I am crazy enough for that? After all you've made me go through? I guess not. And you can't get a divorce from me, and you know it. No one can say I've ever done anything wrong. She deserves to suffer. That's all I can say. I'll tell you what I think. I think your Helen is no better than a common streetwalker. That's what I think. Did you cut yourself again? Serves you right. Well, I've got to run along. This is a fine life for me to be leading. I won't stand for your loafing any longer. There, you've overturned the water all over everything. Don't say you haven't. I can hear it dripping on the floor. Alfred, why don't you answer me? Alfred? Alfred, answer me. What is it you knocked over? Are you still drunk? Alfred!
You hoped everyone would think you'd been forced to marry me and pity you, didn't you? You didn't hesitate much about telling me you loved me and making me believe your lies before it happened, did you? You made me think you didn't want your father to buy me off as he tried to do. I know better now. I haven't lived with you all this time for nothing. It's lucky the poor thing was born dead. What a father you'd have been. But I'm not the only one who's got you to thank for being unhappy. There's one other, at least, and she can't hope to marry you now. How about Helen? Don't look at me that way. Yes, I read her letter. What about it? I've got a right to. I'm your wife. And I know all there is to know, so don't lie. You needn't stare at me so. You can't bully me with your superior airs any longer. Only for me, you'd be going without breakfast this very morning. You never did have any gratitude for what I've done. The coffee's ready. I'm not going to wait for you. Oh, my head aches so this morning. It's such a shame I've got to go to work in a stuffy room all day in my condition. And I wouldn't if you were half a man. By rights, I ought to be lying on my back instead of you. You know how sick I've been this last year, and yet you object when I take a little something to keep my spirits up. You even didn't want me to take that tonic I got at the drugstore. I know you'd be glad to have me dead and out of your way. Then you'd be free to run after all these silly girls that think you're such a wonderful, misunderstood person. This Helen and the others. There. I knew you'd cut yourself. It'll be a lesson to you. You know you oughtn't be running around nights drinking with your nerves in such an awful shape. Ugh, what makes you so pale? What are you staring at yourself in the mirror that way for? For goodness sake, wipe that blood off your face. That's horrible. There. That's better. I could never stand the sight of blood. You better give up trying and go to a barber shop. Your hand shakes dreadfully. Why do you stare at me like that? Are you still mad at me about that letter? Well, I had a right to read it. I'm your wife.
Our next piece is a poem, The Shut-Eye Candidate. It's an early political satire article written by the renowned American playwright Eugene O'Neill in 1912 for the New London Telegraph. In the piece, O'Neill satirically condemned the hypocrisy of politicians who ignored the corporate sources of their campaign funds. Here is Don Smith reading The Shut-Eye Candidate.
Says the wily campaign manager to the corporation's man, "Our candidate has gone dead broke. So help him if you can. For the tour is long and the speech is strong and the traveling comes high. And we'll have to gather the coin in order to get by." Then it's graft. What graft? You can't see anything wrong. Standard Oil and U.S. Steel. The candidate shut your eye. And it's passed, all's well, as the coin rolls along. You'll need an affidavit pretty badly by and by. And it's private cars on the railroads are roaming the country wide. It's hotel bills and other ills, and a hell of a lot beside. Don't throw your chip in boldly, be as cagey as you can. For our candidate, be it understood, is a conscientious man. Then it's graft. What graft? As we gather up the tin. Swift gotta he in armor. Oh, candidate, shut your eye. And it's pass, all's well as the old long green comes in. But you'll need an affidavit pretty badly by and by.
Our final piece is from Long Day's Journey into Night, Christina Root reprising the role of Mary Tyrone. We hope you've enjoyed our workshop presentation tonight of Eugene O'Neill's work. And that, dear listeners, is what we call laying down the law.
Do you remember our wedding, dear? I'm sure you've completely forgotten what my wedding gown looked like. Men don't notice such things. They don't think they're important. But it was important to me, I can tell you. How I fussed and worried. I was so excited and happy. My father told me to buy anything I wanted, and never mind what it cost. The best is none too good, he said. I'm afraid he spoiled me dreadfully. My mother didn't. She was very pious and strict. I think she was a little jealous. She didn't approve of my marrying, especially an actor. I think she'd hoped I would become a nun. She used to scold my father. She'd grumble, "You never tell me, never mind what it costs, when I buy anything. You spoiled that girl so. I pity her husband if she ever marries. She'll expect him to give her the moon. She'll never make a good wife." Poor mother. But she was mistaken, wasn't she, James? I haven't been such a bad wife, have I? At least I've loved you dearly and done the best I could. Under the circumstances. Oh, that wedding gown was nearly the death of me, and the dressmaker, too. I was so particular. It was never quite good enough. At last she said she refused to touch it any more, or she might spoil it, and I made her leave so I could be alone to examine myself in the mirror. I was so pleased and vain. I thought to myself, even if your nose and mouth and ears are a trifle too large, your eyes and hair and figure, and your hands make up for it. You're just as pretty as any actress he's ever met, and you don't have to use paint. Where is my wedding gown now, I wonder? Kept it wrapped in tissue in my trunk. I used to hope I would have a daughter. And when it came time for her to marry, she couldn't have bought a lovelier gown. And I knew, James, you'd never tell her never mind the cost. You'd want her to pick up something at a bargain. It was made of soft, shimmering satin, trimmed with wonderful old Duchesse lace and tiny ruffles around the neck and sleeves, and worked in with the folds that were draped round in a bustle effect in the back. The basque was boned and very tight. I remember I held my breath when it was fitted so my waist would be as small as possible. My father even let me have Duchesse lace on my white satin slippers, and lace with the orange blossoms in my veil. Oh, how I loved that gown! It was so beautiful. Where is it now, I wonder? I used to take it out from time to time when I was lonely. But it always made me cry. So finally, a long while ago, I wonder where I hid it. Probably in one of the old trunks in the attic. Someday, I'll have to look